Hello friends, welcome again. Friends, in this video lecture today we are going to discuss the plot construction in novel. We will discuss the definition of plot, the elements of plot, the difference between story and plot, and at the end we are going to discuss different types of plots in novel, in fiction, in English literature. Friends, William Henry Hudson, who has written a critical book entitled as An Introduction to the Study of Literature. In this book, he has discussed the types of plots in novel, in chapter number 4. And we are going to discuss this chapter number 4 in this lecture. Friends, we know that plot is a very important element of novel. In fact, plot is considered as heart and soul of any work of art. It is only through plot construction that the novelist narrates the story of the main hero, of the protagonist. A good plot makes the novel more interesting and successful. In fact, the whole success of a novel actually depends on plot construction. Okay, plot. What is plot? If somebody asks you this question, then the answer is that plot is a series of events logically connected with one another. Okay? What is literature? Literature is the reflection of life and society. And our life is full of actions. Our life is full of events. These events, these actions are represented by the novelist in his novel. Okay? So, novel is nothing but a series of events taken from real life. Okay? And these events must be logically connected with one another. That is called a good plot construction in a novel. Friends, there are 5 stages, or you can say 5 important elements of a good plot construction, and they are exposition, that means introduction, that means how the characters and how the main event or the theme is expressed right in the beginning of the novel. A good exposition makes a good novel. Second stage of plot is rising action. This rising action, presents before us some problems, some conflicts in the life of the hero. And the third stage is the climax. Now, the problems which are presented in the beginning, they attain a kind of intensity. So much conflict is presented in the middle portion of the novel. That is called climax. The next step is falling action. Now the conflict starts releasing. Okay, and the fifth stage of a good plot is resolution. It is also known as denouement in Greek language. Okay, resolution is actually the end of the story where all conflicts, all doubts are solved by the novelist. Okay, so these are the 5 stages in a good plot. Now the question is, many times the readers or the students are confused between these two terms, story and plot. But friends, every story is not a plot. Every plot must have a good story. We must understand what is the difference between story and plot. Let me tell you that a story is the timeline of events presented in a narrative manner. Okay? Some events are presented as per the timelines. That is called a story. But on the other hand, a plot expresses the rationale and informs the reader why specific events belong together. To explain this, let me give you an example. This example is given by E. M. Foster, an important critic of English literature. E. M. Foster, in his aspects of the novel, he has explained this difference between a story and a plot. Take this example. The king died and then the queen died. When you say like this, it is a story. Okay? That means the story narrates the events, okay, in a proper sequence. That is a story. The king died and then the queen also died. That's a story. But what is a plot? The king died and the queen died of grief. This is plot. Okay? So when reading a story, Foster explains, we wonder, and when evaluating a plot, we ask why. So the answer to the question why is given by plot, not a story. Okay? I hope this difference is clear to you. Now we move on to discuss two types of plot as discussed by William Henry Hudson in his book An Introduction to the Study of Literature. According to Hudson, there are two kinds of novels, or you can say two types of plots, and they are loose plot and organic plot. Now, what is a loose plot? The novels of loose plot have detached incidents. Incidents are presented, but they are in a scattered, detached manner. And there is no unity among these events which are presented in the novel. In the novel of a loose plot, the story is composed of a number of incidents with or without connection. Okay? There is not much connection among the events which are presented. Okay? Say for example, in William Thackeray was an important novelist of English literature. In his novels, we mark many a loose plots which is merely episodic plots. Okay? Thackeray's novels, they are very popular novels, but the problem with Thackeray's novels is that there is no organic unity among the events which are presented in his novels. If you want some more examples of loose plot novels, then you can say, take this example of Robinson Crusoe, Joseph Andrews, Vanity Fair, Pickwick Papers, and all such novels. In such novels, the novelist has considered the plan, arranged the characters and events, and laid down the lines to bring about the catastrophe. Much focus is not given to the organic unity among the events which are presented. So that is one kind of novel with loose plot. Another kind of novel that we see, is a novel with organic plots. In the novels of organic plot, the incidents are connected, logically connected with one another, and there is a proper pattern of events. Some logic is presented among the events which are presented in the novel. Okay, like say for example Tom Jones, written by Henry Fielding, published in 1749, and another novel The Woman in White, written by Wilkie Collins, published in 1859. These are the two nice examples of the novels with organic plots. Okay, Sometimes we have the plot unification, that is in a loose plot we may have some organic incidents, okay, and in organic plot we may have sometimes loose events also. And these two things are actually overlapping. Sometimes in the novels of loose plot, in some events you find some logical connection. And on the other hand, sometimes with novels of organic plot, you find some disconnection, detachment among several incidents. Okay, so sometimes some novels are not completely organic novels, not completely loose novels. Okay, so this mixture is also found. Another division of plot, you can say, Aristotle, the great Greek philosopher, when he was discussing tragedy, he has classified plots into three main types, and they are simple plot, complex plot, and episodic plot. And the same theory is applied to novels also. In novels also, we have these three main types of plots: simple, complex, and episodic. Okay, what is a simple plot? A novel which runs on a single line story. There is only one main story going on right from the beginning till the end, is known as a novel with simple plot. Okay, but complex plot is a novel in which one main story is presented, at the same time some parallel subsidiary one or two three stories are going with the main story. That is called the complex plot. Here these subsidiary plots which are presented, which are going in parallel to the main story, they actually help the main story, to develop faster. That's why complex plots are considered as the best kinds of plots in English literature. If you want an example of a story, of a novel of a complex plot, then you can take Bleak House, written by Charles Dickens during the 19th century. This novel was published in 1852, and here there are three stories, and they are cleverly and artistically interwoven with one another. All three stories have some logical connection. They go side by side in a parallel manner. And so, complex plot means one story, and one main story, at the same time one or more than one parallel subsidiary stories are going on. And in literature, complex plot is considered as the best kind of plot. The third type of plot is episodic plot. When the events of the life of the hero are presented in a very haphazard manner, when there is no logical connection among them, they are presented as separate events only in the novel. That novel, friends, is considered as a novel with episodic plot. And remember, friends, this is the worst kind of plot. Okay, so friends, here we come to the end of this discussion on the types of plot. Let's now recollect the whole discussion by saying that plots are very important in novel. They are the heart and soul of novel. What is a plot? The definition is that, plot is a series of events logically connected with one another. There is a difference between story and plot that we have discussed, and then we discussed two kinds of novels: novel with organic plot and novel with loose plots. And then we discussed more classification of novels, of plots in novels, and they are three types of plots, and they are simple plot, complex plot, and episodic plot. Complex plot is considered as an ideal plot in English literature. So friends, here we come to the end of this discussion. Thank you very much. Friends, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and if you really like this video, please share this video among your classmates and friends. Thank you again.